React with all your insight. Review what feels so right. Criticize the light. Movie shining bright. My opinion is mine. Like a never-ending call. Watch them rise and fall. Stories big and small. Screens light up the hall. I will say it all. React with all your sight. Review the day and night. Criticize is a right. Shows that steal the light. My opinion stands so free, like a storm upon the sea. Watch them rise and fall. Stories big and small. Scribes light up the hall. I will say it all. Quest, react, review, criticize. Quest. React, review. Criticize.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And we're joined by Steve, the Yorkshire geek himself.
Hello. Oh, A up, should I say? A up.
I read that news about Tomb Raider earlier, and you know, I had to. Bloody hell, Lara.
Yay!
Yeah.
At least somebody's wearing my merch, not me.
Yeah, it looks good. It's good. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Strange New Worlds, Season 3, Episode 9. And my God, what were they doing? I mean, talk about going back in time, huh? And screwing up another classic episode.
I enjoyed it. I liked this
You
episode.
did. I know you did. But I agreed with you with the enemy mine, and also what was the episode? It was I knew it. I know it.
There's been a few episodes, haven't there?
Arena, yeah.
Yeah. And there's been a few. There's been a few episodes like this.
Yeah.
With
It's
the
also
enemy.
very similar to that one in TNG where Picard meets the what was his name?
Yeah. The Terrarium. Terrarium.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Darmok.
Yeah.
We've had that. We've had the enemy from TNG. What else have we had? There's been one in Deep Space Nine, hasn't there?
Yeah.
And also, where enemies have to come together to survive, and there were one in Enterprise as well, wasn't there? So it's a well-trodden path that they've gone on.
It's to me, it's more of a show of lack of imagination. They haven't really got a good idea for something original, so they're stepping back, like they did with Balance of Terror in was it season 2? That was the end of season 1.
The end of season 1, yeah.
Yeah, where they redid that in an alternate timeline, which I enjoyed. But it's like you're just stepping on things that have happened, and it's just as a Trekkie, as a fan that grew up with reruns of TOS, TNG, Voyager. I didn't watch DS9 when it was on because I didn't really like it. It did grow on me after a while, but it was the war stuff. So it was the war with Dominion, the Dominion War. That's when it grew with me because it was all pew pews, pew pews and ship battles, which is kind of my thing. It's like with the Expanse. Expanse has great space battles, you know. But
Sorry, just adjusting myself.
it's just crazy. But yeah, I mean, I can never know what to say when I'm talking about Star Trek, especially with Strange New Worlds, because you got the divided fan base, haven't you? Kind of like you have with Star Wars, where people like prefer the new stuff over the old stuff, but then us older Trekkies, we grew up with it, whereas they're like coming into it in the new way, and it kind of divided us, hasn't it, with the younger lot?
Well, yeah. Like I say,
Yeah.
I got into Star Trek when I was a kid in the early 70s. The original series in black and white because we didn't have a colour telly back then. And so
Actually, isn't
loved
that
it ever since.
when I was a kid, it was a separate TV license for black and white TV. You
Oh,
used to
yeah.
have a black and white TV license, and then you had a coloured TV license, like it was something complete. This is
When
weird.
when we got BBC licensing, not watching, but when we got a colour telly in the late 70s, my mum still got a black and white license. And we never
Yeah,
got sussed.
well, that's probably because she had the license. They didn't check on the TV. But yeah, I've always had a problem with Ortega ever since it started. I always had a problem with Ortega. I don't like her as a character, and but I didn't. I was interested when I noticed the models that she has in her quarters, the Lancaster and the Spitfire.
I can't say I noticed.
You know, they're right in front, right on the camera as it's panning around. And I thought to myself, well, most Americans would probably have a model of a B-17 or a P-51 Mustang if they were a pilot most of the time. I know there are several that I know of that they always loved the Spitfire. They say it's a beautiful looking fighter plane and stuff like that. But I thought it was interesting that they chose our British planes from World War II as opposed to American planes.
Yeah.
So
I can't, as I said, I can't say I noticed, but
no,
she's a pilot, so she's obviously gone for the best.
oh yeah, yes,
As we know,
definitely,
the
definitely.
British make the best aircraft,
Hmm.
and then
Well, we
sell
did
them
that.
to other
We did.
Americans.
We did once.
Well, yeah.
What have we made, which has been the best aircraft? We've had Spitfire, Hurricane, Tempest, Typhoon, Lancaster, so loads of others that no one knows of, the Blenheim, stuff like that. But
Mosquito,
one of my favourites is a Mosquito, but
Wellington.
another one of my favourites, the English Electric Lightning.
I saw I saw something about that on. I think it was on Instagram. The lightning. It broke the altitude record or something. It almost
Altitude
went into
speed record.
space.
It
Something like
was
that.
it broke the record for the fastest climb.
Right.
I mean, it was over Mach 1 vertical, so it was like pointing up in the sky, going over them, but going past the sound barrier. It was crazy. One of the fastest at the time. It was probably the fastest, or something, interceptor,
Yeah.
which is what we needed
Great plane.
at
Not
the time.
attractive
It
though.
was,
Not an attractive plane, but
yeah,
it did its job.
it was the engineering which was the best part.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was an over and under jet engine, so it had two engines, up, like stacked instead of side by side. It was an insane design, but it helped with the aerodynamics and stability, which was crazy. Uh, but Yeah, we've diverted.
Yeah, I know nothing about aeroplanes anyway. I know what Concorde is, and that's about it. Or was.
Yeah. It's a shame about Concorde. My God.
Bloody
Anyway,
French.
let's get back to Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you can tie that into Enemy Mine, loads of episodes of Star Trek over the time. But I mean, it felt lazy to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, I enjoyed this episode, but I agree with you that it is lazy writing. They're just falling back on, as I said, well trodden tropes. If it had been a season of like 20 episodes, you'd think, fair enough. We've got to have the odd filler episode.
Yeah.
But in a season of 10 episodes, they should all be banger episodes preceding the overall arc of the season, shouldn't they? Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Which this season hasn't really done, has it? We've had, I don't know, probably, in my opinion, so far, with one episode to go, like 3 really good episodes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the rest are just, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that with all the seasons for Strange New Worlds is that it's just there are 2 or 3 episodes that stand out, and then the rest are just it's just like I couldn't be bothered.
And I'm a fan. I like Strange New Worlds. I think it's just for all the attractive young ladies, because I'm a dirty old man. But
Attractive young ladies.
Well, they're young to me.
Probably young to me as well. Right, so Leo Kaiser, thanks for joining us. Fun, but reminded me of the episode of Galactica 80.
Yes, the return of
Starbuck
Starbuck.
had to team up with the Cylon on the deserted planet. I think that was that's before Enemy Mine came out as well, wasn't it? It was a very similar episode.
Well, 1980, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The return of Starbuck. It was the last episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. Which didn't really work because Starbuck didn't return.
Well, no.
But yeah, great call. I didn't think of that, to be honest. That one completely slipped my mind.
I did. I thought of it, but I forgot to mention it in my video.
The thing is, I liked Galactica 1980, but the problem is, it wasn't made as well as the original series was, and it was obvious that it was kind of put together in a hurry. Does that make sense? I don't know if you saw it. Well, probably not, because I don't think it was on TV here, was it? Oh no. What was it? The Cylons Has Landed, I think, was the name of the movie for the Galactica 1980, wasn't it? And that was like like a Halloween thing where Boltar and the Cylon was walking around the streets at Halloween. I can't remember what episode that was, but I think that they turned that from a 2-part episode into a movie at one point.
Well, they did that with a few Galactica episodes, didn't they? Particularly in season 1.
Yeah. But I mean, I was a fan of Galactica, the original, and
I went to see it I saw Battlestar Galactica and what did they call it? Mission Galactica: The Cylon Attack. I saw them 2 at the cinema back in the day.
Yeah. Well, that became the unofficial pilot episode for the series, didn't it?
Battlestar Galactica one, Mission Galactica: The Cylon Attack, or the 2-part with the Battlestar Pegasus.
Which was the last and first episode. Well, they were mid-season, weren't they? Those 2 episodes. Yeah.
With Lloyd Bridges as Commander Kane.
Yeah. But back to Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. So we keep diverting to other things.
Yeah, we do. But it's because when there's a comparison and the thing you're comparing it to is better than the episode. I know we've probably got differing opinions on Strange New Worlds because obviously you like it more than I do. Let's put it that way. There are aspects of it that I like, but I've always thought like season 1 and season 2 to me was always like it was like mostly Spock. it had something to do with Spock's relationship or something going on with Spock, in my opinion, because that's what I got out of the first two seasons. Because they all kind of centered on Spock. And then it was Spock and Nurse Chapel, and it was just centering on them all the time. That's my opinion, and I hold to it. I mean, you're welcome to try and change my mind if you want.
No, you have your own opinions.
Yeah, but,
I'm not going to try and change your mind.
sometimes the differing opinions are what you need, right? So, yeah, but yeah, I've always had my issues with Stranger Worlds, but this episode, I feel that if it was possibly like a different character that they used that got stranded on that moon, for me it might have been different because I might be I might be biased in my opinion on not liking Ortega's, right? So that could be part of it for me, I guess.
Well, I quite like Ortega's. I think Melissa Navi is a really good actress. I think she was good in the episode. I didn't particularly like the episode, the one with her brother doing the documentary thing.
Oh yeah. There's
What
like
is
what?
Starfleet? I didn't
Yeah, I thought
particularly
there was
like
going to be
that.
like two episodes with him,
Yeah,
and then I
I
thought that
didn't.
was going to be it. But then
I
he was
didn't.
there
I
at
didn't
the end of
particularly
it.
like. I didn't particularly like that episode, but I thought she were really good in it. But she was the highlight for me of that episode because I just thought she was, the way she acts and all that, and her interactions with her brother and the camera and all that. I thought that were really good. But
Yeah, Kaiser said it again. I like the cast of Strange New Worlds, but the stories are often just okay rather than great. This episode did feel like Star Trek, though. I agree, it did feel Star Trek, but it's just I would have preferred it if they did something more original rather than calling back to things that have already happened in the franchise.
particularly in a 10 episode season, as I said, it should be laser focused.
But if you Kaiser, if you think about what the way I said it is, I don't like the character. I didn't say I don't like the actor. I said I don't like the character of Ortegas. I'm just pointing that out. It's not the actor I have a problem with; it's the character. Okay, just so you know what I mean. She may well look a hell of a lot better in real life. She might be a much better actor in other things. Just in this, for me, she's not so much. That's all I'm. That's my opinion. That's all. But yeah, it's. I'm glad the season's nearly over though. One episode left, isn't it? A 10 episode season.
Yep.
So yeah.
And I've
But,
no idea what the finale is about, as far as I know. Has there been
no.
a trailer for episode 10 yet? I don't know, or a teaser or whatever.
I don't know. I don't bother with the episode trailers because I look at it as if the trailers will give away too much of what's going to happen. I'd rather be pleasantly surprised. Guys, what are your hopes for the final?
Well, I'm wondering, will I forgot her name now. The captain that got the Gorn DNA in her, Marie Battelle.
Battelle.
If Captain Battelle's going to come back and do something Gornish, or has she buggered off now to go to Starfleet Jag or whatever it is?
She has.
Is that the last we've seen of her? I don't know.
Yeah, because she's going to be the head of the. Was it the Starfleet Judiciary or something?
Yeah. So is her story arc over now? Is that it?
I think that ties into TOS as well, doesn't it? A lot, because I think she's in an episode of TOS, isn't she? In one of the courtroom episodes.
I have no idea.
I think she is.
That'd be a deep cut for
Kurtzman.
Trek.
Probably be one of the uninteresting ones, because with any show, there are always episodes where you think, I'm never watching that again. Even one, I love the show, but that one episode, skip it every time, that sort of thing. Because it'd probably be too slow, not enough happens, it's not very, Star Trekky or something like that, But, yes. But before she gets sucked through that wormhole, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they would have picked up neutrinos, wouldn't they? 'Cause, I mean, that's
Tunneling
what
neutrinos.
is it neutrinos? Is that
Something
'cause
like that, isn't it?
was it neutrinos that they had in DS9? Every time the wormhole opened, it was neutrinos.
Something like that. They call them like tunneling neutrinos or something like that.
Yeah,
But remember, they've got better
but
sensors in the 24th century than the 23rd. So
yeah, but they can. But in Strange New Worlds, they can somehow detect a tear in the realm of reality. To a universe that's bleeding through, making people sing and making Klingons into boy bands.
that's true.
They can pick that up perfectly fine.
That's true.
But yeah, um, so when she's being sucked, just before she's being sucked through that, she literally says, "I've lost helm control." But the moment she comes through, she's able to maneuver. It's like, well, if the helm controls are damaged, how is she avoiding asteroids and stuff when she gets through the other side? She hasn't had time to fix it.
Got
Surely.
helm control back. Maybe it was just when she was going through the wormhole.
Maybe.
It took,
Maybe.
lost control of it, and then when she was through the other side, it all came back on.
Yeah.
They should have shown that then, shouldn't they? Maybe should have shown the displays of what going off or saying error or something, and then going back to normal when she came through the other side.
Well, if it
Maybe
was
it did.
Discovery,
Maybe
it'd
it
be
did.
all
I
over
don't
the
know.
place. If it was Discovery, it'd be all over the the windows, wouldn't it?
Oh, but she had the shutters closed, didn't she? She was flying on instruments.
Yeah, I don't think we've had many episodes of Star Trek where they've actually blacked out the windows, have we? I don't recall it. No, because I think most of the time there's something that filters the glass, isn't there? That filters the view screens.
I have no idea.
Weird. But anyway, I've always hated the Strange New Worlds Gorn. I think that they got too much. They're too much like a reptilian version of the Magog from Andromeda, which is why I keep calling them Magog. There are people that keep comparing them to xenomorphs, and I'm like, well, xenomorphs don't breed that way. I mean, yes, they implant an embryo and burst out of someone's chest, but not that way.
But they kind of look like a xenomorph.
Yeah,
The
they
body,
kind of
body
look like
aspect,
xenomorphs.
the legs and the tail and all that they're given. Why did
You know
they
what
give
they
them
actually
tail?
look
I've
like
no
to
idea.
me?
But anyway.
The original Predator. That's what they look like to me.
The Jean-Claude Van Damme one.
Yeah, because he had that suit and the head was on the tongue. It was more insect-like, but very reptilian-esque, as reptilian insects-like alien. But yeah, I don't. It's so much fun watching Strange New Worlds. I'll tell you. But when so after she crashes, she somehow. This is something that I was concerned about because when she goes to check her emergency rations, her Capri Sun's lids came off and spilled everywhere.
As the
Well, basically are Capri Sun pouches, isn't they? Or I think Capri Sun do that. Do they have the screw top, or is that a different one?
I think they have a straw.
Yeah,
You can
do
never
they still
get
have a
in.
straw? Am I thinking of Orangina or something like that?
I don't know.
Well,
I
there's a
get the
drink
cheap
that comes in a
stuff.
pouch with a lid on, just like those pouches. And I thought to myself, well, how does that happen? How did the screw top unscrew and spill everywhere?
It's the Metrons. Oh, sorry, spoilers.
Don't worry, spoilers. Should have said that at the beginning. But yeah, that's hang on. Very true. Not a fan of the Strange New Worlds Gorn puppet. Best redesign of the Gorn was in Enterprise, A Mirror Darkly. Yeah, well, that was it is a better looking Gorn, but that's all CGI, I think, wasn't it? Whereas this is, I think these Gorn they're part practical, part CGI. I think they're a hybrid.
I've just got to go let my cat out. Won't be a minute.
All right, no worries. but yeah, I mean, and they did look. They looked like proper Gorn in A Mirror Darkly, because I think that was the first time they had one where it wasn't just a guy in a suit, right? Um, which is probably why it looked good. But yeah, they really messed up when they did the Gorn in Strange New Worlds. They really did. Oh, and hey, it looks like I've got a new subscriber. Thank you very much. Do you think they'll have a time jump in the next 2 seasons? Well, the thing is, we know there's supposed to be only 1.5 seasons. I think they're filming season 4 now, I think. But I'll see if Steve knows. But I know that season 5 is being questioned, isn't it? But yeah. So, do you think there's going to be a time jump in the next 2 seasons? Kaiser asks.
What year we're on? We're on 2161, aren't we? And
Yeah.
so, are they going to take it all the way up to Captain Kirk taking over?
I think that's what they want to do, because I think Kurtzman had an idea to do that Year 1 series or something, or Year 1 movie where it's going to be Kirk's first year in command.
So they're going to take it up to like 2265. So
yeah, I doubt they will. To be honest, I'd say that it's still questionable whether we'll get season 5. Well, the season 5 half season, because it's only been confirmed to have 5 episodes for season 5, aren't they? And I know we're definitely getting season 4 because that's filming now, isn't it? But I think season 5 is still up in the air whether it's going to get cancelled or not, because it all depends on what happens next summer when the contract with Secret Hideout runs out. So if they've got season 5 in development before next summer, then we'll probably get it. But if they haven't, then we won't. That's my thought. What do you think?
I always think never count out Alex Kurtzman's ability to latch on to something. I think he's going to be around for a while. I don't want him to be. I want him to bugger off. But
yeah, but you've got to think that he's not just dealing with Paramount now, is he? He's dealing with Skydance.
Well, yeah, but
is it Skydance? He's Skydance, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's kind of part of the Skydance family, because he did the 2 Star Trek, the JJ Star Trek movies, didn't he? The first 2 of those. Yeah, they were Skydance Productions, weren't they? So, as well as Bad Robot. So I don't know if he gets on with, is it David Ellison? I don't know if he gets on with him or.
I don't know. I heard that there was a bit of a falling out between Kurtzman and the teams at Skydance.
Oh, right. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But I mean, I know there's a lot of talk that Skydance is not happy with Kurtzman at all. I think they have a good view, and they have a view of what modern Trek should be, and they want that. And there's actually talk now. I don't know if you watched Tachyon Pulse with Jay. He's come out and said that Skydance wants to do Legacy, and so does Paramount, but they'll probably use CBS side of it to do it, because I think there are parts of the franchise that are still owned by CBS.
Because they're splitting up the movie and TV Trek divisions again, aren't they? So
yeah, which is why we didn't see any Constitutions in DS9 during the battle scenes. We see plenty of Mirandas though, but we only see the Mirandas because they were in TNG. They were, weren't they? Yeah, I think they were.
Oh, they were. I saw a few Miranda classes.
Yeah,
Miranda
and
variants.
Excelsiors as well. But why we never saw a movie era Constitution in DS9, I don't know. That's all to do with the movie rights, isn't it? Because that was CBS side of it, wasn't it? Or was it? No, CBS did the series, didn't they?
Yeah,
did the movies.
Paramount did the movies.
Yeah. So I don't know where that stands with everything. Legacy without Terry Matalas, I'd be skeptical. Yes, I would be as well. But like I was saying, Jay over at Tachyon Pulse has said that he's been told. Oh Lord, no, he's been told because I can't confirm it or anything. So because I don't have the contacts that he's got, but he has said
Sources.
that if they go ahead with Legacy, they want Terry Metalis on board because I think Terry Metalis is currently with Disney, isn't he? Doing a couple of projects for them
Yeah,
now.
he's doing Vision Quest, isn't he?
Yeah. So, and apparently they're not exclusive deals, so it doesn't have to stay there for for specific length of time or a specific number of movies or projects. So it's possible that Terry Metalis may be on board if they go ahead with Legacy. We also know that Jerry Ryan wants to do it, and I can understand why because she hasn't really done a lot, has she? She's appeared in some good shows. She appeared in Dexter, if I remember rightly. I think she appeared in a few episodes of Dexter,
Never watched Dexter.
and I think she was in Chuck as well. Or am I thinking of someone else?
And I've
I might
never
be thinking of
watched
someone else
Chuck.
there. Chuck was a good show. I loved Chuck when that came out. But yeah. So yeah. But back to Strange New Worlds.
Anywho,
Yeah, that moon was kind of unusual because I mean, it did. I mean, when she calculated the orbit, it was like an elliptical orbit, and it came really, really close and stuff like that. I thought to myself, well, that's weird. I'm no astrophysicist, but
I was wondering, was it just like a pocket universe created by the Metrons, just for this experiment? You know, which is why everything were all weird and funky.
you mean kind of like what it was for Arena, whereas like, a world, I suppose, I think the Metrons may have created that world in Arena because I think there's
I
an
don't know.
entire story in
Cestus 3 is a known planet. There does end up
yeah,
being a Federation colony there, doesn't it? Because it's mentioned in Deep Space Nine. Because they've
yeah,
got a baseball team, haven't they?
but it just so happens that all those resources are on the surface like that. You don't have to dig down for them or anything. I think I'm thinking of Star Trek Online, where there's a story part in the TOS time. So if you start playing as an original series character, you end up on that planet. So and you're going around, you got to collect the same resources to make dynamite to blow up a rock, so you can build a ramp to get out of a valley that you're stuck in. There's Gorn in that as well, and they don't look like Strange New Worlds.
I've played Star Trek Online, but I've not got very far into it. So.
No, it takes a lot. I mean, a lot of it is also a big grind as well. It's one of those huge grinding games. So the Metrons are literally going to memory wipe the Federation and the Gorn to bring the continuity in line with TOS. No.
Well, they just memory wiped Ortegas, didn't they? And
Yeah.
the Gorn were killed, weren't she? A female
Well,
Gorn as
no, they
well.
didn't
Female
memory
Gorn.
wipe her, did they? I mean,
Well,
they
just
did
just
say that
just
they're
just
going to.
about the Metrons, just
Yeah, just the Metrons. But she's going to remember everything else. It's
yeah.
like, well, yeah. Which is why next episode I'm concerned about the relationship between, well, not so much concerned, but interested in what's going to happen between Ortegas and Laan. Because
Fisticuffs.
Laan didn't consider anything, she just fired.
Yeah, so in
Yeah.
guns blazing, didn't she?
Yeah. Because, all of a sudden the Gorn comes out and. Okay. But Ortegas could have shouted no beforehand. She had
Yeah,
plenty
she
of
goes,
time.
don't shoot.
Yeah, she knows Lan. She knew that Lan would potentially just shoot on sight. It's a Gorn. Lan has history with the Gorn. But yeah, it's it was interesting parts. Hopefully leading into the final episode. But was lazy. The fact that Ortega seems to be more than a pilot in this episode. She seems to know how to build a water condenser out of random pieces of damaged equipment. Fine. She didn't even open the ration packs to see if the rations was all right.
It probably
The
in
food
the
inside the packet might
Starfleet
be fine.
Survivalist Handbook. It's probably in there that she remembered.
Yeah. And she didn't even try her hand communicator, which they're supposed to have on them at all times.
I thought she had a phaser on her early on. When she was sat in the shuttle after it had crashed and it showed her pull a blanket up. I could have sworn I saw a phaser on her. I'm going to check back now, actually.
Maybe. Because when she opened up the basic survival kit, now in Star Trek, whenever we've seen a basic survival kit, there's a phaser, a secondary communicator for and food and water, right? And the water usually came in those little Yakult-sized water bottles. Do you remember? Enough to keep hydrated for a few hours.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, it's Strange New Worlds. I mean, what can I say?
Sorry, I'm just going through the episode to see if she's got a phaser. Because she didn't have one later, did she?
No. She could have done with one.
All her caprice.
But then with her history of the Gorn, it wouldn't have fit in with the plot because he would have just shot the Gorn on sight, just like Lan did. I think because of her history, because she was almost killed by the Gorn in the first episode of the season, and she hasn't got over it.
Oh no, it's a knife. It's that knife that she's got.
That was a knife. It's the knife. Okay.
Yeah. Right,
yeah.
Let him off.
So yeah, it's.
But there should have been a phaser in a compartment somewhere.
In the emergency survival kit, there should have been a phaser, just like there should have been a spare communicator. In my view.
I mean, why do they give them a fire block when they can just use a phaser to heat up a rock or whatever? That's what they usually do,
exactly.
isn't it?
It's a pointless piece of equipment, isn't it? I suppose having that in the emergency survival kit is a good idea because, well, you'd need something to cook food if your phaser runs out of juice, right? But that's excessive. It's like, we've always seen them use phasers to heat rocks, and we've seen other ways for them to do things, and they just, we're just going to go with this. Oh, look, it's a bit of maybe we can sell this on Amazon or something. Just pull the thing out and it lights up. Brilliant. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah. So she meets the Gorn. So she goes into the camp. I mean, clearly it's a camp. And you got all that Gorn stuff there. And the artifacts, so you've got those sculptures of some sort. It's like, well, the Gorn's been there a long time, but I couldn't imagine a Gorn being that artistic and thinking, oh, I need to brighten up this cave. I need to just put something there to make it look nice.
I mean, did the Metrons know that Ortegas was coming, or another human at least? Because the Gorn, as you said, she's been there for a while because she'd built this big tent and all that, hadn't she? And she'd been there for a while. Yeah.
I think the Metrons made a point of saying that they wanted to run an experiment of putting a Gorn and a human in a survival situation.
Yeah. So did they make sure that the Enterprise got there?
Yeah. See, when I first saw the Gorn there, when I found out that it was a female, I thought to myself, I wonder if that's a Gorn queen that's been put there for some reason, like she's been put there by the Gorn themselves to keep her away, so that she doesn't take over the hegemony or something.
Yeah. I thought at first, I wondered if she was like a prisoner and this was like a Gorn prison planet or something. No, it wasn't that, was it?
No. There's so many ways they could have gone with it though, and they just chose that. And Ortegas, although she managed to fly a Gorn ship once, she suddenly knows how to repair Gorn technology, and it's just sticking stuff in that goo and sliding it in. It's like lubing it up to put in the hole.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's lazy. Why couldn't the Gorn do that? It's her technology.
It was kind of explained, though, wasn't it, that she didn't really want to go back home,
Yeah.
did she? Because she was injured and she think they'd gone and just kill her because she was unworthy of living or something like that, wasn't it? Because she was injured.
Yeah.
So she said they're gonna just kill her because she'd be a burden.
Yeah, I
The
think that's a
girl.
point that they've made with the Strange New Worlds Gorn is that they kill their wounded, don't they? They don't help their wounded. They just because they're weak now, they just leave them. So, yeah. But when the Gorn had Ortega's by the throat and held her over that hole, I thought to myself, "You're gonna drop her." I thought, "Drop her, yeah, do it, drop her down the hole." But then that bug jumped out, and it's like, "Oh, there you go, food on a barren
Yeah,
rock moon."
they were eating
Food.
those, weren't they?
Some sort of alien space centipedes.
Tastes like chicken, probably.
Probably, yeah. Probably tastes like chicken, or it's just a lump of I don't know, some vegetarian stuff like hummus. I don't know.
But they had to make the Gorn pilot female, didn't they? They couldn't
Oh, they
have her.
had to, didn't they?
They
Yeah,
couldn't have her
they had
teaming up
to.
with a male Gorn, could they?
Yeah.
For
I don't
some
know
reason.
why the Gorn would need males and females if they breed by biting people.
That's true. That's true.
So the Gorn might have opened up her mouth and said, "I'm a they them. I'm not a he or a she. I'm a they them." That's what the Gorn would be, because they don't need to identify as male or female, do they?
If this had been made a couple of years earlier, I bet they'd have had a scene where she's,
Oh, they would have fallen
misgendering
in
the
love.
Gorn.
They would have fallen in love and had a whole relationship for a few months before being found.
It's a
So
good job
how
they
do you
didn't
help?
take the. It's a good job they didn't take the Gorn back to the Enterprise because Spock would have had a go at her, wouldn't he? Because he's become Kirk for some reason as Spock,
Oh yeah.
working his way through all the crew.
Oh no, Lan would have killed her for jealousy.
That's probably why she killed her.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget, was it in the
Spock's
movie?
mine.
Don't forget in TOS, Uhura has a thing for Spock, doesn't she?
Does she?
Hmm.
Oh, I know.
In the movies, she ends up having a thing for Scotty.
Yeah.
And in the series, I remember her having an interest in Spock.
Oh, I know Chapel did. Chapel did.
Mm.
But I didn't know.
I don't think they
never
technically
noticed
got together, but there was something there. Especially in that music that episode where they're behaving like they're drunk, they're intoxicated by that radiation, and they're all singing. I'm pretty sure that she sings to Spock. Yeah.
Right, I can't remember. I know the episode. Naked Now, but was it Naked Time? Naked Time, innit?
Hmm.
It was Naked Now in TNG, wasn't it? But, anyway.
Hmm. But then, obviously, we've had at that point we've had one time where the moon has travelled through the atmosphere of the gas giant because the Gorn's got the shield that's protecting her, and that's when La'an finds the technology, like the transmitter, that's been destroyed, essentially just taken apart. But somehow, miraculously, she knows how to put it back together.
And she can make a universal translator as well.
Yeah, she can, out of a tricorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure would not happen because if she had her handheld communicator, that might have been able to do it. Because doesn't the communicator have the translator built into it? All she would have had to do is turn a few knobs, flip her through those micro switches with a twig.
Yeah.
Because that's what those communicators were used to be made out of, wasn't it? It was like a little twisty knob, and then little things where you got to put a bit of metal, put a thing in, click,
I've
click, click.
got one up there somewhere. I've got
Why don't Spock and Kirk remember La'an? Yeah, that's a good point. See, this is one of the things I don't like about having La'an as a character. So this is a good question because I don't understand this either. If if it was in canon, and La'an was a member of the crew, and Spock knew her, had a relationship with her in Space Seed, how come he doesn't recognize the name Nunyan Singh?
Yep, it's a pretty big
It's a pretty big
canon plot hole thing there, isn't it?
Or, as I like to say, Strange New Worlds and Discovery happen in an alternate timeline.
Yeah,
Just
I think
like
that now.
Enterprise.
I think that.
Maybe the Enterprise timeline where it splits from the original. So the moment in Enterprise when the temporal Cold War got involved and they started doing things, then I think that's where it split, and we get in the Discovery timeline as a result of the temporal Cold War in Enterprise. Because up to Enterprise, in Enterprise, it makes you see a lot of it's very Star Trek in most episodes, except for season 2 when it's basically just a long drawn out war.
Well, that's season 3, isn't it? The
season 3?
Zindi arc. The Zindi arc.
Yeah, the Zindi. Yeah, it is season 3. But I think that's what I think makes sense for Strange New Worlds being so different and Discovery being different, because there's a breakaway in the timeline. That's why I think we're in the alternate with Strange New Worlds, and the Prime is where I'm hoping Skydance wants to take us back to the Prime universe and have a nice smooth hold Enterprise instead of this one, which looks great, by the way. I mean, I love the look of the Enterprise of Strange New Worlds. I just don't see how it fits.
I agree. I think the Kelvin timeline and the Kurtzman Trek timeline, I think they're their own separate things.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe like Lower Decks, which you could argue is.
I think Lower Decks is more Prime, but they incorporate other things. Like they incorporate more the new Trek's technology. They got the new. They show it in episodes. Like they have like the classic Klingon bat'leth, and then all of a sudden next to it they'll have the Discovery bat'leth. Same with phasers and stuff like that. But another thing is the phasers. The phase rifles in Strange New Worlds. We're talking about Strange New Worlds. I'm comparing it to TOS here. I'm getting confused. The phasers in Strange New Worlds, they look like they may fit in sort of in a transitional time between Pike and Kirk, so where you can see them being introduced on newer ships maybe, whereas in Strange New Worlds, I think that they should have gone with the ugly original style, or something closer to the original style phasers rifles that they had. If that makes because you remember how ugly the phasers were for TOS, the phaser rifles, they were just like, what the hell?
Well, they look like water squirter guns, didn't they?
Yeah. So it was okay. The worst bit was Ortega's apparently dying of starvation after 17 minutes on the moon. Yeah, that's a good point. But I'll go back to my point earlier. When she takes the emergency rations out of the floor, well, stupid place to put emergency rations. Why don't you put them in a compartment on the side of the shuttle or something? Why the floor? But then she pulls it out, and the package is intact. It's singed. It's like black. It's singed, which means that the packaging is damaged. But she doesn't open the packaging to check the supplies inside. She just throws it to the side, then reaches down to get the water, and then they're empty. with no lids. Doesn't make sense. Because even if they're a little bit burnt, they're emergency rations. You would check them, right? It's like you're on a boat, the boat sinks, you're in an emergency life raft. There's a bag in there that's got emergency rations in it. Like they're usually like dry biscuits and stuff like that. Just because they get wet, you're not going to throw them overboard, are you? You're going to need them. It's essentially the same situation, right? But the fact that she waits so long to open the window shutter as well, and she only does it on one. Me personally, I would have opened all of them. But yeah. So it could be like a jacket potato and tin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could be. But I always give Strange New Worlds the benefit of the doubt, right? Just like I do with any show. I give them a chance every single episode. But I just feel that they haven't done anything to win me over again. It's like when Strange New Worlds started, I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be great. Started watching it. There's something wrong with this. There's no canon. There's not a lot of respect for what's come before. And
I mean, yeah, I'm like that as well. They've changed canon too much, which is why I think of it as a separate timeline. But so that is annoying. But I like the execution of a lot of the episodes. So that's why I'm a bit.
There
of a
are
fan.
episodes that I like the execution of as well. Yeah, definitely. But that's not enough. For me, it's not Star Trek enough.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not rolling my eyes at Strange New Worlds like I will be Discovery. Discovery, I was like, oh, for God's sake. But
the thing is, in my opinion, Discovery started quite well. Discovery,
I liked season 1 of Discovery because it were all new and
I
different.
liked the pilot episodes, the 2 pilot episodes, the Vulcan Hello. I thought to myself, that would have been great as a generic sci-fi movie. Putting those two episodes together would have made a good independent sci-fi movie. But the rest of it, it just wasn't good Trek. Some of it was entertaining, but the Discovery falls under the girl boss issue. There's a time and a place for a girl boss, and that show was not the place all the time. It's like, was it the Mary Sue they call them now?
Yeah.
But
girl is the key to everything.
Yeah, and they argue that, oh yeah, what about Ripley and Alien? It's like, well, yeah, Ripley and Alien was done well.
They have to get the girl boss in, but they give her a boy's name.
Yeah,
Michael.
Exactly. Yeah, which to me makes me think that they were ticking boxes when they cast her. Like we've got a character named Michael. Yes, great. What are we going to do with Michael? Wait, no. Let's change this. I'll tell you what. Let's cast a woman as Michael. And they're like, what? As Michael? So, yeah, as Michael. So, well, why don't we just change her name to Michelle? It's just a few letters. It's just changing a couple of letters. You call her Michelle. I mean, Jesus. All they do is change a couple of letters. But yeah, I do like Sonique though. I think she was okay. She's a good actress. I mean, she was okay in The Walking Dead. Although towards the end, it was like, well, she's a bit, but should have called her Fred. Should have called her Barney. Yeah. So what point did we get to when we were talking about when I was talking about Strange World? We got to the Gorn technology, didn't I? That the putting together the transmitter. Guys, are you gonna tune into the Khan audio drama released this week? I think. I don't know, to be honest. First I've heard of it. If I'm actually being 100% honest.
What? I don't even know. What's it on? Is it going to be on YouTube, or is it going to be
I don't know.
on like Spotify or iTunes, or I don't know what it's going to be on. So.
I don't know.
But if it's readily available, if it's like on YouTube or whatever, I'll listen
On
to
Audible.
it. Audible, all right.
Yeah. I think I've got access to Audible through my Prime.
I'm sure there will be ways to listen to it.
So Tuvok and Sulu are in it. Okay.
Yeah, because I think it's like bookended or something in it with the Excelsior. They're on the Excelsior.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah. I think that link with Tuvok and Excelsior, I thought that was quite weird because in Undiscovered Country, because that's when we see Tuvok, isn't it? Well, the actor that plays Tuvok. We see him in it, but he doesn't have 20 years in the movie. So they just digitally add his ears to a previous scene at certain points. I think it's when he has his memory flashback.
I'm trying to remember now. In Generations, where we see him, is an officer on the Enterprise B in it. It's Tuvok. I don't think we see him. I don't think we see him in Undiscovered Country.
Yeah, it was Enterprise B.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, it was Enterprise B. Sorry, yeah, I got confused there because of the Excelsior and Sulu. Because Sulu was captain of the Excelsior when he.
In Undiscovered Country, there was that officer. I forgot his name, Ben Tane or something like that.
Yeah.
That
not until
he were killed in the Voyager episode on the Excelsior, but then at the end of Undiscovered Country, we see him on the bridge.
Yeah.
All happy.
I think that was after Tuesday, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Oh god, that was. I didn't like that. It was a good way to get Kirk into the Nexus, but why would you send the ship out, even if it's just a maiden voyage or something? Why would you send it out without photon torpedoes and stuff? It's just ridiculous.
Well, it was just like a what do you call it? Like a press tour thing, wasn't it? Where they were supposed to just poodle about the solar system and then go back to Earth, but there were an emergency.
There we go. He had a twin brother on Excelsior.
Or maybe a half brother, like Cybok.
Yeah. I honestly thought that they were going to have Cybok in season 3.
Actually, we saw him in season 1, didn't we? Yeah, we saw him in season 1, didn't we?
Yeah.
Cybok. They didn't call him that though, did they? They called him something else, but we know he's Cybok.
But I think Spock does have a conversation about him, doesn't he, at a certain point in season 1. I think Cybok is brought up at least once. They mention his name. Because I think Spock says something along the lines of, "We don't talk about him."
But yeah, like talking about his family, does he?
No, loves talking about how he was singled out because of his half-human nature, which, for an advanced civilization like the Vulcans, I think is a bit petty.
I've always thought that, even when we saw it in animated series, I forgot what they call it, Yesteryear, or whatever they call it, episode, which shows the little Vulcan kids picking on Spock, and I thought, you think Vulcan kids would be above that, wouldn't you? But
yeah,
obviously not. Kids must be kids, the universe over, even if they're Vulcan.
Yeah, but they're missing the point. These are not just kids; these are Vulcan kids.
Yeah, they should be.
They're being brought up to follow logic. Where's the logic in being prejudiced?
Yeah.
Or discrimination, or discriminatory. He had a twin brother. Oh, but I've seen that one. I did that one. got a bit confused there for a second. So back to Strange New Worlds, I think. So it's always on a live where you sort of drift away from the point of the whole thing, but at least everything's related in some way.
Just tangents we're going off on.
Yeah,
Coming back.
that's the whole point, isn't it? I'll edit it out later.
No.
But Ortega's is not a strong enough character for me to think that she could actually survive a situation like that. Because especially considering that it's a matter of hours, right? It all happens in a matter of hours. It's not exactly well, maybe a couple of days at most. You wouldn't be starving enough to eat raw bug meat, would you?
You wouldn't think so, no.
No. Especially considering the fact that the next time you eat it, you actually have a stove in your pocket. Why don't you just sit outside, light the stove, and cook it?
She thought she was James Brolin in Capricorn 1 when he eats that snake.
I doubt Bear Grylls would even touch that. Isn't she established as a war veteran from the Klingon War? Yes, she is. But she's a pilot. Because she keeps going on about how well she did flying, against the Klingons. So I don't think she saw much ground fighting.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with her, knowing how to do stuff, because I imagine she'll have got a lot of Starfleet survival training and all that. But she could have mentioned when she was fixing things, when she was fixing that translator and stuff. Maybe she should have just mentioned or something like, "Oh, I hope I remember my engineering courses," something like that. As though she's...
I mean, I kept wondering why was she suddenly earlier on in the show working on a motorbike? Now we know why. So she had some background in engineering. So, but I don't see how putting a bike back together would make it so that you could put a Gorn communication device back together. It's a bit strange. Especially when Gorn technology is so mysterious. I mean...
She's the Anakin Skywalker of Strange New Worlds.
I'm not. He's so erratic in Strange New Worlds. No sign of Vulcan logic developing in the show. In fact, the most Vulcan logic we saw was when everyone was a Vulcan, and they all started taking the piss out of him.
Hated that episode. 1 out of 10, I give that.
Apparently, that serum changes everyone's clothes as well as their hair and pointy ears. He's different every episode. It's going to be a joke when this show ends, and they try to dovetail it into TOS. Yeah, that's not going to happen because I know Kurtzman wants to end it with Kirk on the bridge of the Enterprise. I know that's what his plan was. I don't know if he's going to be okay, if he's going to be allowed to do it. Because Kurtzman wants to do that year one, doesn't he? He wants to have a Kirk series, just like the actor wants to have a Kirk series. But the only reason the actor wants a Kirk series is because he's not doing any other work. And I don't know if he is. I'll have to look at his IMDb to confirm whether he's got much work coming, but he's a part character who appears now and then randomly in the show. So he's got time on his hands, so he can do other projects. But I don't remember ever seeing him in anything else.
And he's nothing like Kirk.
William Shatner.
William Shatner in his prime had folded him up like a pretzel, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
It's too scrawny. But anyway.
But yeah. So, do you want to talk a bit about it?
Well, where are we up to? She's with the Gorn, and
Yeah.
suddenly the more or less best mates. She overcomes all of her prejudices against the Gorn. Remember, she was basically stabbed, wasn't she, by Gorn claws or
Yeah.
whatever in the opening episode of the season. And she was,
She even says in this episode, well, get it over with then.
and she had some PTSD for 5 minutes when she saw a reflection of a Gorn in the window, which never happened again. But anyway, never mind. But suddenly she's best mates with this Gorn, and she's fighting to keep it alive, which I don't really mind, because as I said, it's Robinson Crusoe, Enemy Mine, whatever. It's that sort of story, and it's been done a million times. But it were all a bit sudden. I know they've only like 45 minutes to get it all in, but
Yeah.
it were all a bit sudden. And
Yeah, I think the Gorn, the female Gorn has grown in me. I'm sorry, grown on me as well.
Pelia, yay or nay, I don't like Pelia. I'm glad she wasn't in this episode. Quite a few weren't in this episode. We didn't get a Scotty. We didn't have Dr. Mabenga. We didn't have Chapel. We didn't have Pelia in this episode, did we?
That's another thing I don't like. I don't like Scotty being on Pike's Enterprise.
But we didn't see him until, well, I don't know. He wasn't in Where No Man Has Gone Before, has he? The second pilot. I don't think he was, anyway.
No.
I don't think he appeared until Man Trap, did he?
I can't remember what episode we first see him, to be honest. I think the first time Scotty's on in TOS, it's his voice over the intercom, isn't it? Or something.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I can't remember. I'll have to watch TOS again.
But Scotty's supposed to be. Oh, was he in? Scotty was in No Man.
Was he in No Man? No,
Oh,
right,
no.
okay. I'll have to watch it again. The problem is with TOS, when it's in the early episodes, the uniforms change, and you think to yourself, well, they stand out more in the newer uniform that they have in TOS. Scotty's in bright red. He's noticeable.
Yeah.
He's the only person in red that doesn't get killed every time. This is pretty much the trope, isn't it? Red shirts get killed. Except Scotty.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But Scotty's supposed to be 10 years older than Kirk. I mean, obviously, he isn't in Strange New Worlds, is it? But,
No.
That's it.
He's younger
Different
than Kirk.
universe,
Well, by the looks of it.
separate timeline.
Yeah. I can't stand Pelia. No way.
She does me head in.
Especially when she's like with was it in one of the episodes she's like next to Pike and she's like, yeah, you see, elbowing him. He's like, yeah, trying to be chummy and funny.
Doing high fives with him and
Yeah, and I'm just like, you're so annoying. I want you off my ship. The moment Scotty came on board, right, you're gone. Transfer. Reason for transfer. Don't like her. But, even the serum don't like her. So that's saying something, right? You feel anything? No. Maybe it's short. Is it Aliran or a Terran? Aliran? I can't remember what species she's supposed to be.
this is Lanthanite.
Lanthanite.
Yeah,
Okay.
number one's Illyrian, isn't she?
I knew one of them was. Oh, that episode a few episodes ago when they had the hairstyles, she looked terrible with her hair done like that.
Number one, it
I
was
was like,
awful.
oh my
Like
god, that's disgusting.
Lego hair stuck on her head.
Yeah, she looked horrible. But yeah, the hairstyles is another thing. That most of those hairstyles, wouldn't they be against regulations in TOS?
They should all have like beehives, like Janice Rand and all that, shouldn't they?
I've been watching Strange New Worlds, Foundation Season 3 and Alien Earth. Season 1, Alien is the winner for me. Yeah. For me, Foundation is over overdone with CGI, but I know why. They future-proofed it, haven't they? They've future-proofed it for the next I think it's two resolutions to future-proof it for the next two resolutions, so they don't have to remaster it, which is understandable. But I think the CGI looks over perfect. Does that make sense? Whereas you got something like with Expanse and Lost in Space, they look great. They look, the CGI is amazing. But then Foundation comes out and it's like, yeah, that's that. They've done too well with it. You know, does that make sense?
Not really. Stop complaining that something's too good.
Well, fair enough. It's done. Let's just say, because they've created the CGI for multiple resolutions into the future to future-proof it.
I've not seen it, by the way. I've seen season 1, The Foundation, but I haven't seen seasons 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm just saying it just doesn't look right, and that's only because we can't see it in that resolution at the moment because that's way too expensive for everyone. I mean, what are we at now? 6K resolution at the moment they released. That's quite new. And I think Foundation has been made to be 9 or higher, which is really annoying. But hey, that's the way they want to do it. Fine. But the CGI in Stranger Worlds is good, except for the Gorn, because it's terrible. But the ship stuff, as they like to say, ship porn, looks amazing. The ships always look great. There's no complaint about that. It's just the writing, the characters, and everything else. For me, they just. I've always said that I don't like it because of the canon issue, but that is a major part. The fact that they step on canon all the time, and when they try and say we respect canon, it's like, but you don't.
They have no
It's the prime time, mate, but it isn't. I thought you got it. It's too good for the current. Yeah, exactly. I could have just said it like that, but that was too dumb to say it like that for me. I tried to explain it in a in a more logical way as opposed to short way. But yeah. So. So where were we?
Can't remember now. Best friends with the Gorn all of a sudden.
Best friends with
the
the Gorn.
Gorn's injured and she's using crystals from these rocks to cure the Gorn. I don't know how that happens, but
yeah.
I kept thinking when she was using the crystals, I was just reminded of Predator 2, when he's smashing up that bathroom to make the stuff to mend it. when he's got his arm cut off to mend that. I'm just thinking of that when she's healing the Gorn.
Blood to glow green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never learn the Gorn's name either, do we?
When she was at one of those nest things, taking the crystals out the side of it, I thought to myself, is it bug shit? Is that the shit from the bugs?
Maybe it is. Guano.
Yeah. Guano. It's another word for shit, okay? Shit is not a curse word. It's a descriptory word, in my opinion. So shit. It's less embarrassing than saying, I've got to go poo. But anyway, so yeah. Best friends with the Gorn. Knows Gorn technology inside and out, apparently. Knows how to. Gorn lets her put that stuff all over her leg. Then she goes out and collects more after a little while. Is that before?
Yeah.
Before?
We
But
also
that's
learn that,
after she fixes the transmitter, wouldn't it?
yeah, we also learn that the Gorn understands English but can't
Yeah.
speak it. But it does speak it, doesn't it? It says disagree, doesn't it? It goes like disagree when she goes off to
Yeah.
get the crystal stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks to the translator that she cobbled together out of the tricorder. Which
and
I
the
find interesting,
Gorns are
because
good
when
at
they
chess
hold the
as well.
tricorder, they look straight at it, right? They've got the screen looking at them and they look straight at it. But do you remember in TOS, they held them upside down? Remember?
I don't know. No, the little screamer in the top right hand corner.
Yeah.
Or something, wasn't it?
They would, sometimes in TOS, they would hold them the right way up, but then other times they look them upside down.
Oh, right. I've never noticed, but I know he held it
No.
upside down in Galaxy Quest, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know if it's because it's maybe Spock's just trying to be discreet about scanning or something. That's why he looks at it upside down. But just find it weird. They're much smaller than I would have expected. Strange, for pre-TOS. Well, in TOS, they look twice the size, don't they?
Well, they came in a big leather case and that, didn't they?
Yeah. God. So that's the point where she puts the Gorn transmitter back together, wasn't it? Because the Gorns, she's able to communicate with the Gorn. Before that point, was just saying agree and disagree, which is annoying. It's like agree, disagree, disagree, agree. Annoying. Why can't you just have the Gorns translate, regularly? Why can't you just say, oh well, I just made my tricorder into a full universal translator?
Well, because she's obviously not that good.
No, but she can make a translator,
Oh,
but she can't make a good one. Just one that goes
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, just one that knows two phrases.
Yeah.
Agree, disagree.
And she's rubbish at chess because the Gorn beats her.
But she's good at the Gorn chess
Yeah.
because she beats the Gorn, and then the Gorn says you got to eat the final piece. And she pretends. It's like, the Gorn's not stupid. She knows that you haven't swallowed it. Honestly, treating a Gorn like she's a little kid.
But I like that she kept it, and it's like a little keepsake she's got now in her quarters. That chess piece.
Yeah. I keep expecting, I expected her to pull out like a hollow image or something and take pictures of her holding, with her arm around the Gorn. Yeah, look at me and my sister. Just the girls out on a moonwalk, literally walking on a moon. But they do become friends rather quickly. But so yeah, at that point she's put the transceiver together, hasn't she? Like I said, sticking it in that petroleum jelly and then slotting them in the hole. Crazy.
And that transceiver were also the force field, wasn't it? That made like a little dome of a force field.
I think it used the same power cell.
Yeah.
It used the same power cell as the force field, I think, didn't it?
Oh, right. Is that what it was? I thought it was the same thing.
But I think Ortega's does say that was the battery, but we're coming up to that point. After a short while, Ortega's notices that the Gorn's leg is infected. It's after she's been attacked, wasn't it? She got bitten, saving Ortega's, didn't she?
Yeah.
So to try and help the Gorn, she decides to leave and go and collect more crystals because they ran out, and ends up getting chased by dozens, if not hundreds, of these bugs. So she decides that she'll want to get as close to the shield, close to the camp as possible before setting off that thing, killing all the bugs. At the same time, destroying the batteries, the power cell, and the transceiver and the shield at the same time. So why didn't you do that at the beginning before you ran away? When you were far enough away for it not to affect anything.
When did the atmosphere become explosive all of a sudden?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it didn't blow up when she lit that flame thing that she cooked
Yeah,
bug meat on.
which I thought was fair enough. I mean, the atmosphere at the end was filled with flammable gas, so they explained that pretty well. That's another thing about Strange New Worlds is there's not enough explainers. Star Trek is famous for its explainers. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, so what's going on here? It's like, well, we're going to use our tech impulse to do this and do that. It's like, okay, fair enough. It's like, why? Then they go into a rant. It's like, oh,
Yeah, Star Trek's usually good at you know, we've got this, and this to do. It says, well, what if we tried this? And they said, well, no, because we can't do that because of reasons,
yeah,
and because they know that the audience will be thinking that as well. Thinking, well, why don't they try this? And usually in classic Star Trek, they'd explain why they're not doing something that the audience is thinking about. So, but they don't do that these days.
no. Question for after your review: do you think that Strange New Worlds has declined in writing in these almost three series? The quirky episodes have alienated a lot of the fan base. I mean, to be honest, I don't think the writing has actually changed that much, if it has. To be honest, I think it's all
Well,
Kurtzman has final say. So
I don't think this season's been as good as the first two seasons.
no,
But I think Kurtzman's had more of a hands-on approach to this season, where he didn't in the first two because he were busy. He were off. Same as when we had Star Trek Picard season 3, he were busy off doing his own things. One is what was it, Man Who Fell to Earth and that Clarice series and all that. But they failed because he's rubbish. But now he's got nothing else to do, so he's here faffing about with Strange New Worlds, ruining it for the most part. Apart from a couple of good episodes.
but I've always said that there's usually even for Stranger Worlds, there's 2 to 3 good episodes in the series, but they don't break that number. But I don't think that they've had consecutive good episodes. I think it's all been good episodes here and there, not one after the other. So we have a good episode, and then we have a really bad episode. Then we have a really, really, really bad episode, and then somehow they get worse. And then we go, oh, a good episode. It's like, it's an enjoyable episode. It's like, oh, right, great. Then a really bad episode again. Crazy. But that's my opinion, because it's my opinion on the show. And, yeah. But...
So I don't mind the quirky episodes, but I think they're doing too many of them now. I think they thought, oh, the fans like the quirky episodes. Let's just make them almost all of them quirky episodes. But which they shouldn't have done.
No, they
shouldn't.
In
my opinion.
But the things we haven't been talking about for this episode is what's happening on the ship, because at this point we've got Uhura, who seems to be taking charge of the rescue mission on board the ship. Really? Uhura? Fair enough. I wouldn't want Uhura to be in charge of my rescue.
Yeah, you think like Spock or whatever would be in charge, science officer, wouldn't you? But,
yeah, but he's taking everything from Uhura. Uhura comes up with an opinion, and that's the one he goes with. It's like, well, hang on a minute.
But saying that, they're trying to get a signal through the wormhole, aren't they, to try and contact Ortega. So that's probably why she's doing it, because she's the communications officer. So
at least we saw the TARDIS on the Enterprise walk themselves.
I'd have never noticed that if it hadn't been pointed out. I'd have never seen it.
Yeah. And Uhura, that's something that I would never accept on a ship if I was in command. She fudges the numbers.
Oh, yeah.
She takes it from below 50% to take it up to 61%, so that Pike will you say, "Oh right, okay, that's acceptable."
I think we're on like 56%, and she put it up to
56%.
61, didn't she? Yeah. So she just
But I don't
fudged
like
it
the
a
fact-
little bit. But,
Yeah, but I mean, manipulating the results of
yeah, she shouldn't.
she shouldn't have done that. She should have been disciplined for that. I think.
Yeah, she should have got a
I think
dressing down.
Pike's a soft touch.
Yeah, because he said at the ending that he
Would have done
understood
it
and all
anyway.
that, but yeah, but he should have given her a dressing down. Shouldn't say, "I'm very disappointed in you, Nyota."
I think they're taking Spock and Kirk's relationship from specifically the movies in too much to heart, because their relationship, especially in the Wrath of Khan, when Spock says to him, well, and I think Kirk says it as well at a certain point, where the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. No, the needs of the one.
These are the many outweigh the needs of the
Yeah.
few.
Or the one. Or the one. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, I think that's the thing, because I don't think anyone would really risk the entire ship to rescue one person. In my opinion, because you're not going to risk the lives of hundreds of people to save one.
Well, no, and plus they
It's
also
like
had
Simon's code, isn't it?
They also had that thing where they were supposed to go rendezvous with a constellation.
Exactly, they had the emergency mission already.
Because they had the vaccines for those 4,000 colonists. So
The thing I would have thought was leave a shuttle there in case something happens, deliver the supplies and come back.
Yeah, you'd have thought so, wouldn't you? Or a sensor
or
buoy
try
or a
and
drone
arrange.
or something.
Is there another ship nearby? Maybe that ship can rendezvous with them where they are and take the supplies off there. I mean, the supplies are important, and you're on a rescue mission to save a member of your crew. So why don't they communicate? I mean, warp is almost instant. We know this in Strange New Worlds. It's almost instant travel, isn't it, in Strange New Worlds?
In Kurtzman Trek, in JJ Trek and Kurtzman Trek, it's
Yeah. So why couldn't they change the rendezvous point and have that ship come to them? Because all they were doing is rendezvousing with a ship to transfer the cargo so that they could carry on to the planet that's in trouble.
Yeah, I agree, but it's for dramatic effect. They wanted to show how much Uhura wanted to save Ortegas because
she had faith. Yeah. She had faith.
She was even praying at one point in Swahili, wasn't she?
Yeah, exactly. But it's interesting how these young TOS characters in Strange New Worlds don't always work in their personalities. From the original, the show really has a multiverse vibe. Remember parallels in TNG? Yeah. It's funny. I actually watched a TNG episode. I can't remember the name of it. I watched it today. The one with the Bozeman comes through the time rift where they're trapped in that.
Cause and effect.
Yeah, that's the one.
Where the Enterprise blows up loads of times.
Yeah. And they find out that they've been in the loop for 17 days.
Yeah, but the Bozeman have been in it for 78 years or something like that.
But we never find out, do we? But yeah, it's definitely a multiverse vibe.
I think we see the Bozeman again in Lower Decks, don't we? Do we?
It's definitely mentioned. Yeah. And I think the captain's mentioned as well. I think we see the captain on screen on the view screen, don't we?
Probably what I'm thinking of.
I can't remember.
Morgan Bateson, Captain Morgan Bateson. Yeah.
Cause and effect is a great episode, Fraser. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's why I watched it, because I remembered it and I thought to myself, I can't remember that episode, so I thought I'd watch it. So I watched it today. But yeah, it's a shame. Because that's also a rare ship in Star Trek, isn't it, as well, the Bozeman?
It's what's it, Soyuz class, which is like a Miranda variant, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's an early Miranda variant, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't have the raised weapons platform.
It's got like a big
Except
honking space gun.
It has multiple heavy phaser arrays, doesn't it? It has the ones on the top, one at the bottom, and the one either side. So it's got like 4 heavy phasers. It's a warship, essentially, coming forward to a time of exploration. The Bozeman was also mentioned in Generations. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was, because it had to alter course, didn't it? Because of when that sun changed all the gravity when they collapsed that star, didn't it? Yeah.
So, right. So, where were we? So Uhura had fudged the numbers so that Pike gives the okay to carry out the attempt, where they put the Enterprise in the wormhole.
Wedge it in.
Just wedge it
warp
in.
bubble.
Yeah, just like a door, like a cork in a bottle. It's like, why don't they just fly straight through it? I mean, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of sending the shuttle in the first place, doesn't it? Because they sent the shuttle because of the anomalies around it. There were two. You couldn't you couldn't fly the starship through. Then all of a sudden, Pike can fly the starship through this anomaly field.
I think they forgot about the anomalies, didn't they? Or maybe the wormhole washed them all away. I don't know.
And I couldn't understand at the beginning where they were saying, "Oh, we've taken everything out of the shuttle to keep the weight down." It's like, you're in space. What does the weight matter? The shuttle is designed to be small and maneuverable. So what's the point in removing everything to save weight? Doesn't make sense.
Well,
the mass of something doesn't make a difference in maneuverability in space.
Well, they still have inertia, though. If it's got mass, it's got inertia. So, but that
I
doesn't
bet
really
you would
matter,
have
does it? When you've
preferred
got
it if it's
thrusters
got
and
inertia.
engines and stuff. But anyway,
Well, they might as well just take the warp core out of the shuttle. Oh wait, do those shuttles have warp cores? I don't think these shuttles in TOS had warp drive, did they?
no, but I'm sure we see them going to warp in Kurtzman Trek. I'm sure we do. Even though
Well,
they're
they're not much
supposed to,
different to the. They're just a redesign of the Discovery ones, aren't they? Just wider instead of longer. They're very fat. They're very fat shuttles. Lots of headroom. Unlike the original ones in TOS, where
They seem bigger on the inside than the outside, don't they? I wonder if is that a deliberate thing, because in Galileo 7 in the original series, where the Galileo shuttle crashes on that planet, and the set for the inside of the shuttle were actually bigger than what we saw when they're outside. It were actually bigger.
Yeah, that happened in a TNG episode, didn't it? Shuttle crashed, and they changed this type of shuttle in the CGI and that because they needed one that was bigger, because someone screwed up the measurements of the set piece. So they changed it to that so they changed it to a different design, different shuttle that crashed because of it. I think that was in the remastered version. They changed the shuttle.
All right. Don't know.
I can't remember. It's a long time ago, but the proportions were completely off. I can't understand why the shuttles are so small.
Because the shuttles.
Yeah, but I can't understand why they're so small. I mean, you're in a shuttle. It can't travel at warp necessarily. Depends on which universe you're in. You don't want to be hunched back. I'm going to go and check. I'm just going to go to the toilet. Get up. Hunch down so you don't bang your head on the roof. But then I would have preferred a runabout than a shuttle.
Oh, I like runabouts. I want one. Like the Winnebago of Star
The one
Trek,
with the weapons pod on top, the tactical one. Wouldn't want to get caught in the going through the wormhole without extra weapons, would you? Oh wait, what's this one first? I actually thought that the wormhole might
go to a different quadrant.
Yeah, go to a different quadrant. First contact with the Kazon or Dominion or
I think it was a Metron
Yeah, it's just a
thing.
Metron thing.
I think it just went to a little bubble of universe that the Metrons created. But I could be wrong. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Or I think the Metrons are more likely to use something that exists. I wouldn't say that they were. The wormhole goes to another universe or another galaxy, maybe another system that's not too far away. Would make sense because it's not big. It doesn't. It's not a stable wormhole. It's not as stable as the one in DS9, right?
I think it was collapsing, wasn't it? But it was collapsing because
Yeah, it was only
signals or
collapsing
whatever.
because they kept sending probes
Yeah,
through it.
yeah.
Silly. So they would have figured that out in the first probe. And they was like, yeah, the wormhole aperture has closed about 0.5% since we sent the probe through. It's like, well, yeah, I think it might be a good idea not to send another probe. We wouldn't want to risk it closing anymore. But wouldn't you try and daisy chain the probes? So have one go through, so sit on the other side, and then one on this side? That would surely that would be a lot better.
I think so, wouldn't you? You'd think so.
But Uhura wanted to use 12. So yeah, there wouldn't be a wormhole left after that.
I mean, and the planetoid obviously wasn't that far from the wormhole.
No.
Obviously less than, I don't know, was it 20,000 kilometres is the range of the transporter? Because the transporter had Lahan down to the planetoid from the Enterprise, which was stuck in the wormhole, wasn't it? So it wasn't that far, was it?
No.
But anyway.
Yeah, anyway. So yeah, Uhura seems to be taking charge of the rescue mission. I think it. Do you think it's maybe because some of them are legacy characters? They're concentrating more on them. Because they're legacy from TOS characters. Maybe they're centering more on them for that reason. It's like Pike, Una.
I think this season has been, more about the TOS characters, hasn't it? Except for Ortegas, because obviously she's not in it, but in TOS.
No.
But I think Pike and Una a bit, they've kind of like taken a step back, haven't they? So they're still there, they're still around, but it's more seems to be focusing on like Uhura and Scotty and all these others. Kirk even, he keeps popping up, doesn't he?
Yeah. Instead of doing it the way that they traditionally did it in Star Trek, where every now and then we'll think, oh, let's center on one character. I know, let's put say Worf in a shuttle. He's just won a battle of competition. Let's have him come back and find out that there's a problem with the Enterprise. Then we got a Worf centered episode. And they do it with others, don't they? I mean, they did it with Kirk and Wesley when they crashed.
Picard and Wesley,
Picard and Wesley. Well, what did I say?
You said Kirk. Yeah.
Oh, did I? Mm. Well, Kirk's crashed plenty of times anyway. Kirk got stranded.
Or did you mean Commodore Wesley? Because I think there was a Commodore Wesley in the original series, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I think either in the original series or the animated series. I do remember a Commodore Wesley somewhere.
Yeah. But so they wedged the Enterprise in the wormhole to stop it from closing further and to try and get some way to communicate.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. Koklud, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it says he's put a message. He's got to go. Whatever the messages are. Chats.
Cheers, guys. I've really enjoyed your discussion. But I have an early start tomorrow. That's fine. No problem. No problem, mate. Give this episode a 6.5 out of 10. It was okay. It had an okay story, but no originality. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I would agree.
I give it a 7. I give it a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it, but not original.
No, it's not original.
Yeah.
It's far from it. It's just a coupled together stories from Star Trek and other movies or shows. But it's had that feeling for a long time. in Strange New Worlds. Like the confusion having the Gorn being able to impregnate someone by biting them. It's very Andromeda. It's very Andromeda with Magog. But yeah, so the Enterprise is now wedged in the wormhole, and Ortegas is making a shelter out of the heat shield from the Gorn's
escape pod. Yeah. Where's the rest of the Gorn ship? I don't know, but anyway.
Question. I thought the Gorn used biotechnology for their ships. I thought they grew their ships. So why is there a heat shield? Their technology is biological, right? It's not technological. It's kind of like a Wraith ship. So why do they have a heat shield?
A biological heat shield. I've no idea.
Yeah, a shame, but there it is. If you do a review, yeah. Next week, then I'll tune in. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing another one of these next week for the final episode. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. But see you next time. Coeclud.
I have no idea how to pronounce
I'm not going to try and pronounce it.
Is it
Play it,
Welsh?
buddy.
I don't know.
Might be. But anyway, there's a thruster, a Gorn thruster, which is mechanical
a thruster
in
pack or a
appearance.
jet pack or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a thrust. I think it's a thruster from the escape pod. I think Ortegas does say it's a maneuvering thruster.
Is that what?
Like she would know what a Gorn maneuvering thruster would look like.
Rhymes with tofu.
Rhymes with two-third.
Tofu. So it's cool.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Cool.
Co-clad. 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 Yeah, definitely sounds well. Definitely seems well. I lived in Wales for a while. Could never pronounce places. You still didn't get it right.
No, well, nearly.
It's really and truly, I don't really care. It's a long word and I can't pronounce it. It's like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, isn't it? It's one long word. No one cares that you can pronounce it.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Just do a long word
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. But right, so they set up the Gorn maneuvering thruster that looks like it's made out of metal, not biological. I don't know. Maybe their escape pods are mechanical rather than biological. Possible. But then why? What's the point? I wouldn't have thought the Gorn would even bother with escape pods. To be honest,
I don't think so, would you? You wouldn't think so. It seems
no. Because if they lose a ship, then why? They're not going to be accepted back into the hegemony, are they?
Yeah,
They're just going to be. Go on. I was going to say that they were just going to be taking the piss off.
Why did it have to be like an escape pod? It could have just been, parts of the Gorn ship that crashed.
Yeah, yeah. Could have been like a fighter or something, or a scout ship that she was on. Yeah, a solo scout ship maybe. But never mind. So a species that has biological technology or technology based on living organisms, ships that are grown, just like the Wraith, have technological based or mechanically based maneuvering thrusters.
And they said that about the Breen, though, didn't they? That there were organic technology, but even their ships that we saw in Deep Space Nine didn't look very organic, did they? But...
No, I mean it's only Strange New Worlds mostly, isn't it? And that is screwing it up. Because there was one in Lower Decks, wasn't there, as well? That didn't look biological. A Breen ship.
Yeah. Like I said,
Yeah.
it had been said before that before we saw them. I can't remember what it was in now. Was it Voyager? I think it was Voyager where somebody said that might be Tuvok said that the Breen, they've encountered species that use biological technology such as the Breen.
Yeah.
But that was before we'd seen a Breen ship. So.
Yeah. But then we saw the Breen just look like a Star Wars bounty. It's the same costume. Come on. Because we see a Breen in DS9 specifically wearing the same bloody costume.
Yeah. It's just rescued Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. No, I got it. Leia went to DS9 to get information telling her where Jabba the Hutt is.
All right.
There you go.
There you go.
Despite the fact all she had to say, so where do you think we can find Jabba the Hutt? Luke will go, oh, I know the guy. He's on Tatooine. I've dealt with his people before. I mean, I know exactly where he is. But it's still going to take us years to get there to get him.
Because it took him that long to build his new lightsaber.
It took him that long to build his new lightsaber and decide to wear black.
Yeah.
Maybe it took him that long to find a crystal to use in the lightsaber. Yeah. Despite the fact that all he had to do was ask Yoda, where can I get a crystal? It's like, oh, I know, just go to this planet where we Jedi used to go to get our crystals.
Yes.
Instead, he gets a synthetic one instead of a natural one.
But get there quickly before the First Order turn it into the Starkiller base.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, because they use if you think of it, Rogue One, and also the Rebels. Yeah, the Empire had harvested kyber crystals because that was the power source for the Death Star. That's when the kyber crystals became power sources rather than focusing crystals, or infused focusing crystals.
Which is what Kurtzman Trek's done with dilithium crystals. They decided they were the power source of starships when they're not. They focus the energy, don't they?
Yeah. They were just focusing crystals. I mean,
anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, to get back to the point, so Ortega's set up the maneuvering thruster in a way where it's going to just shoot up into the air, and the Bluetooth fails. She has to go and get it repaired at the shop. So they have to open up her device, and just change out the Bluetooth thing. That's something we had to do in the back in the day. Bluetooth was brand new at the time, and if it didn't work, they used to say they used to call it recharging the Bluetooth, but it wasn't really recharging the Bluetooth. It was taking the one out and putting a new one in. So the Bluetooth failed. So the Wi-Fi just wasn't working. So she ended up having to manually do it. But they've stacked these heat shields that just happen to be part of the escape pod. Why it's all broken to pieces and not in it's an escape pod, it's meant to be in one piece and let until you get out of it.
If they're doing the enemy mine thing, it's wonder they didn't find little what they call them shells off them creatures.
Yeah,
Zerky proof, and put all them shells up. Didn't they? It's wonder they didn't do that.
I've got to watch that again. There's so many old films that I want to watch again. There's Enemy Mine. I really liked Saturn 3. That old one with the robot.
Yeah, I think I've seen it once.
I thought that was stupid, but watchable. I've actually found my copy of Deep Star 6. I might watch that tomorrow or something.
Anyway,
Yeah. Uh, but so we're getting to the end. We're getting to the end of the episode. Finally, we've only been talking about it for an hour and 15
nearly
minutes.
2 hours.
But yeah, so the Wi-Fi fails. What would be Gorn technology? So I don't know what they would call it. They wouldn't call it Wi-Fi. What they call it? Um, hmm,
They call it
interesting. Yeah. Okay. So the click 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 clock fails. Or should I say the agree disagree fails,
yeah.
and she ends up, Ortega's ends up having to go out there and manually trigger it and run back. Then she narrowly survives that. She just happens to be able to run very quickly with short legs. But it is a moon, so lightweight. You don't know what the gravity is. It might be low gravity, which means you can move faster.
Yeah.
Actually, low gravity would make you move slower, wouldn't it? You'd be able to move longer distances
Jump
with each.
further.
You'd be able to step further, but it would take you longer to get there.
It seemed to have standard gravity.
Yeah.
And atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing goes off just as she makes it, and they hide under the shield, and then it takes a long time to happen. It launches up into the air, and we see a flash, and then we go back to the Enterprise. And I swear, it must have been like 4 minutes on the Enterprise before we actually see a visual reference of it going of a flame of a flash.
They must have it should have said, meanwhile, 5 minutes earlier, they get to the Enterprise.
But yeah, it must be in the subtitles. Maybe in the subtitles it is, meanwhile, 5 minutes earlier. In the closed captions.
Yeah.
Enterprise, 4.59 seconds, 4.59 minutes earlier. But yeah, then we see they're talking on air, and Uhura has literally just given up on her friend and said, "Yeah, I agree."
They're just about to leave, aren't they? They're just about to leave, and then at the very last minute, ooh, what's that?
Last minute, all of a sudden, I think there's a beep, isn't it? It starts beeping, and then everyone's like, "Oh, look!" And then Uhura's like, "That's Ortega's. Who else would?" And I think was it Una that says,
"Massive explosion on that moon."
Who else would do something so reckless to get our attention?
I mean, speaking of Rogue One, it looked like Jeddah blowing up, didn't it, in Rogue One?
Yeah. And you think to yourself, well, it doesn't matter if you were hidden under a heat shield. If that heat shield isn't in one piece, then you're incinerated, because that'll find any gap in anything. But luckily, they don't get attacked by bugs again. And like you said, they're close enough to use transporters, so their sensors can reach that planet. But for some reason, they couldn't scan all the moons at once for life signs. And then I think in Star Trek they can differentiate different life signs, can't they? They can say, "Oh, that's a human, that's a Gorn, that's a Klingon." I'm pretty sure they can in Strange New Worlds, can't they?
Yeah. I don't know what they were saying, like there's 100 and something moons or something, like there were lots and lots of moons. I said it'd take too long. They might just scan the nearest one, which obviously wasn't it?
Well, what I would say is, why not just scan for life signs? You can have a broader search area, and there can't be that many moons that have any kind of life signs on them.
Yeah, that as well.
Then you can probably differentiate which one's human. They would have known that there was a Gorn there, and if they did that. So, but anyway,
yeah.
They they decide to send Laan and an away team to go investigate.
Landing party.
Yeah,
Keep calling them away teams, don't they, in this? But it's landing parties in the original series, isn't it?
Yep.
Anyway.
And they're there, and Ortegas comes out of the makeshift protection that they got made out of the heat shield. It's funny how when she found the heat shield, it looks like a piece of the heat shield from the escape pod. How many pieces were there? She said a piece. That's one piece. And then all of a sudden they've got enough to make a proper dome out. Really? Lazy. And then Laan and the landing party, they beam in. Ortegas is crawling out, and then just after the Gorn climbs out, covered up, hidden, I might add, for the most part, which is why Laan didn't shoot in the first place. The moment the Gorn turns around and Laan sees her face, Gorn!
The Gorn were going to help Ortegas.
Trying to help Ortegas get up.
Yeah.
Trying to assist.
She got shot and killed.
The Federation had the perfect opportunity to speak to a Gorn properly for the first time in Federation history, because they've never spoken properly before with the Gorn, because the Gorn are too hostile. The Gorn I think they just fire anyway, don't they? They don't talk, they shoot. Shooting is talking. It's saying, piss off, we don't want to know you. Essentially. But yeah, so now the Gorn is dead. We never find out her name, by the way.
No.
Maybe her name is just agree, disagree.
Fred.
Angie. So the Gorn, Angie, and Angel, yeah. She's laying there, and Ortegas is then decides to say, the Gorn, well, bear in mind, she's already dead on the ground. Ortegas suddenly, after a brief silence, decides to call out, no! Instead of, when they come out, saying, don't shoot as you come out.
Yeah. Oh, right. Ortegas had been seeing, by the way, these little flashy lights up in the sky.
Yeah.
And she obviously thought that was something, because now she starts just shouting at the heavens.
Yeah.
Where are you? Why have you done this? And all that stuff. And then,
and they also made the point of having the Metron say, we will have to reassess the human-Gorn relationship at a later date, or again in the future, which is a call to Kirk in the Arena episode.
Yeah.
So, very different experiments. One, survival situation. The other, kill or be killed situation.
Yeah.
Would it have really peed them off if Kirk decided to make friends with the Gorn? Honestly, I mean, the translator that Kirk had was bound to be better than the one Ortega made.
Well, yeah, because the Gorn speaks, doesn't he? We hear the Gorn speaking in Arena through the translator, even though it's still all hissy. It's all hissy, isn't it?
But the only reason they hissed was because they're reptilians and they're lizard people. So lizards hiss, but they also huff as well. And chuff. Weird. They also speak with their...
The beaming out, aren't they? The beaming out and the Metron stops time. So they're as powerful as the Q, these Metrons, I don't know. But they just stop time, don't they? They stop it for everybody or just on that moon, I don't know. But
I think it's just in a certain distance.
Do they stop time, or do they just stop the transporter?
They just stop the transporter, I think.
On the Enterprise, they're now going, what's happening with the transporter? It's stuck. And they're just not moving, not doing anything. I don't know. But anyway.
Might be something that Arn asks Ortegas in the next episode. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see next week. But, yeah.
So I'd like to see Ortegas and Laan have, problems with each other. Well, Ortegas has problems with Laan, but
She will.
I bet they don't. I bet they just brush that under the rug.
I think they will. I think they will do it. It's the final episode, so they're gonna have them make up in the final episode. I bet. Because I wouldn't want to be angry at the chief of security, would you? Or the head of security, whichever she is. I don't like Laan. I think her character is just placed there for fan service as Nunyan Singh. Just using the name.
I don't mind her as a character, but I don't like her being a Noonian Singh. They could have just not bothered with that. It was just a pointless thing. But like I said, they've just included it just for the name, just to make fans go, ooh.
Ooh, Khan. Nunyan Singh.
But they've hardly done anything with it, haven't they? Really?
No. And it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with the story, the timeline at all. Nothing about it makes any sense.
No. I mean, the biggest thing
unless something happens to Laan and they have all of their memories erased.
Well, they're going to have to do something out because
Yeah.
Kirk and Spock don't seem to know who Khan Noonien Singh is when they find him in Space Seed. Even though they've served with one of his descendants.
Yeah. Distant descendant, but
still got the same name.
I don't know how many generations. I think they did say, but apparently Starfleet knows about Khan Noonien Singh and his descendants. They made a point of that in the first season.
Yeah, but it's it's not. I don't think it's like general. It's there in the data banks. They can look him up.
But history.
They didn't seem to have heard of him until they looked him up.
Yet in Strange New Worlds, it seems to be common history, which Pike knew.
Yeah.
Una knew. So obviously they've done a history check on her because one, she's not a regular human. She's a descendant from the augmented Khan, right? I forget what do they call it in Starfleet? I can't remember what they call it in Starfleet now.
What's that?
The genetically modified Khan. I can't remember what. Eugenics.
Oh yeah. Well, it's part of the eugenics wars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
So they know that she's eugenic. She's part of the eugenic history, going back to Khan. But that episode where Laan goes to a different timeline, meets Kirk, then goes back in time. I thought to myself, "Oh no!"
And she meets the young Khan, doesn't she?
Yeah, and it's like,
and Romulans are messing about with time and stuff.
Yeah, because that was the history-wise. This will be the first introduction of the Romulans in that timeline, other than Enterprise. Because in Enterprise, we see the Romulans, but that's Enterprise. So not necessarily.
We don't see the. Well, we do see the Romulans, but the Enterprise crew in Enterprise don't see the Romulans, do they? They see a Romulan bird of prey, which has a cloaking device for some weird reason, like 100 years earlier than it should do.
That's another thing people don't like.
Yeah, but we see the Romulans later in season 4, don't we? Because they've got that ship under the
So that's the thing with the Romulan bird of prey in Enterprise. That's the bird of prey you would expect to see in TNG, not in Enterprise, not pre-TOS.
See, it looked more modern than the TOS bird of prey, didn't it?
The TOS bird of prey is old in TOS, isn't it? So I would have thought that maybe that bird of prey would have been around in the Enterprise time. Because it was essentially a scout ship.
Yeah. But anyway.
Well, that's history. That's TOS and Enterprise. I think they're just added in for fan service. They've done well, but fan service. Kind of like having the Enterprise Klingon bird of prey. But, well, technically, it shouldn't exist yet. But I can understand the design lineage that they used. It's acceptable to me. A lot of people don't agree that it should look that they should even have a bird of prey as the Klingons back then. The Raptor makes sense, but I didn't mind that they had the bird of prey there because I would have thought. I know that people had theorized that the Klingon bird of prey is actually a Romulan ship design.
Well, it was supposed to be originally, wasn't it? In Star Trek
Yeah.
3, Search for Spock, it was supposed to be a Romulan bird of prey that we saw in that film, but they changed it to Klingons, didn't they? So that's why I had a cloaking device and everything, and because it was supposed to be Romulan, but they decided to change it to Klingons instead.
But in TOS, they do cover that as well, the history between the Klingons and Romulans, because the Romulans trade
Ship
cloaking
designs for
devices
cloaking
for
devices.
the D, not the D, yeah, the D7.
Yeah, the D7 class.
Yeah, which was the latest Klingon battlecruiser in TOS. So it wasn't around in Pike's era. It was brand new when Kirk was in command. Another, step on canon. Although I do like the Strange New Worlds D7, but I'm just glad they didn't go in to call it a Katinga, because that would have been a terrible idea. People would have kicked a hell of a lot more of a fuss if they called the D7 in Strange New Worlds a Katinga. Katinga is an upgraded version of the D7, isn't it?
Yeah. Motion picture, start at the motion picture where we first see them, isn't it?
Yeah. Which, I don't have that much of a problem, but I would have preferred that it wasn't a D7, maybe an earlier version, maybe a D6, which is smaller than a D7, but similar in design, which would have been nicer. But that's side canon, I think. Which a lot of side canon stuff has actually been pretty good. Was pretty good as well. I have to admit, I never played FASA myself, but I understand some of the designs. They look terrible. Some of them look like absolute rubbish, but I can understand the lineage that they were going with, especially for the Romulans. Like leading up to the Warbird, specifically.
I've never looked into FASA. I'd never heard of it until I started watching, I think, Trek Yards. And
yeah, I was watching Trek Yards as well for a long time. For a couple of years, I watched Trek Yards. But I preferred their Fleet Yards ones, where they had other ships from different franchises. But they stopped doing that because they wanted to be Trek orientated, didn't they? Which is a shame. I liked it. I like their Fleet Yards. And they've changed. So I stopped watching them. They changed the way that they changed their format, let's just say.
They do a lot more live streams now, don't they, than what they used to.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't usually like rating episodes of a show, but I mean, I would say that this was I'd say a 7, 6.5, 7, something like that. To be honest,
I give it a 7. I enjoyed it. I thought, I enjoyed the episode, but I do accept that it's not original, and it does have some issues, as we've pointed out. but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. I know I can be a bit critical of Strange New Worlds. I apologise to everyone for that, but I have my reasons.
Can't all like the same stuff, can we?
No. But got one episode left of the season. 2 episodes left. No, 3 episodes left of Alien Earth, haven't we?
Yeah, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep pressing the wrong thing. Hang on. I'm just checking to see if there's a thing for episode 10 on YouTube.
All right.
I bet there ain't. Oh, Windgrace has got a video up. Is episode 8 review. I'll have to watch that in a minute. I forgot what I'm doing now. Oh, well. I bet there'll be nothing there yet. No. Oh, hang on. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Look at episode 10, and it's from like 3 years ago. It's season 1, episode 10. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
I keep getting that. I don't like every time I come into YouTube, most of the ones that appear at the top of my home screen, they're all from like 3 or 4 years ago. It's like, what? I've been following these guys for a year or so or more, and I'm seeing videos from 6 years ago on some of them. I'm like, what? It's like, this is insane. Why am I seeing such old videos from channels just because I watch their channel?
Yeah, it does that as YouTube. Yeah.
Facebook does that a lot as well. I keep refreshing the homepage on Facebook, and it keeps coming up with posts from months ago. It's like, well, what about today and yesterday? Where are they? I keep refreshing them, and it goes back further. It's like, what? Ridiculous. They've got to work on that. But I don't use Facebook that often.
No, I don't. Well, yeah. Keep an eye on family members and stuff. But
yeah, pretty much the same for me as well. I don't necessarily talk on there that often. And occasionally, maybe on birthdays.
I share all my YouTube links on Facebook, but I don't think anybody ever visits them.
I feel the same. I felt the same. I thought to myself, well, I've got the Quest page. I've recently tried to change the name from Sci-Fi Quest to Quest-RRC. I don't know if that's gone through yet, but I just think to myself, well, maybe I'll keep it, but then start posting something. Maybe when I get more subscribers. Speaking of which, please do hit that thumbs up and give us a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And also click all the notification bell and keep up to date with upcoming content, because hopefully going to do a hell of a lot more lives. I do like doing lives. Although I do have to finish Lost in Space, the final episode of season 1. I'm going to have to do that. I might start doing that again next week, and then move on to season 2. But yeah, I think watching stuff, watch parties and that, I'll probably shift around, and maybe when there's nothing on to review or react to, maybe that's the time that would be beneficial to do it that way, to have watch parties and stuff. I think that makes more sense. But we've got Alien Earth at the moment. We've got Strange New Worlds final episode next week for season 3. I don't know if we've got anything starting after Strange New Worlds ends. I'll have to look into that. But yeah,
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
No. I'm going to try and get to the theatre to watch Badlands when that comes out in November. But that's November. It's September now. It's only September. Only September. It's actually September. How quick has this year gone? Jeez. It's like when I had a long gap in between posting videos, so I didn't realise how long I had not posted a video because it had gone so bloody quickly.
It can do, yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. And as for my poll, I've had 67% of people liked the episode and 33% nope. That's fine. I mean, I have no problem with anyone that likes an episode. Each to our, we're all individual people, which is the whole reason why the utopian society is a ridiculous concept and will never actually come to fruition, because we are all individuals. We are not perfect, which means utopian society is impossible unless we all share the same brain.
Which we might do soon. You never know. If Elon Musk has his way and we all get his implants, we'll all become like the Borg.
Well,
The
I'd be more
hive
concerned
mind.
about being more like the Cybermen, to be honest.
No, yeah. Upgrade.
Delete. Yeah. So, yeah. I think this would be a good time to call it. Maybe it's been 2 hours 15 minutes.
Yep.
So
Yep. I think
a
we've
lot
covered
longer than I was
everything in the
expecting.
episode. Yep. I think we've covered everything in the episode, haven't we?
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
more.
And more. We've been too busy comparing it to other things and stuff, and talking about other stuff. Maybe I have to. Maybe we'll have to do a hangout at some point as well. Maybe do something along those lines. I think I think next week I will be doing a live with Harris after Alien Earth at some point. But if you're willing to do this again next week for the final episode of the season, then let us know. And it could be cool. It's the final episode, so I'll be relieved. You might be annoyed because you're not going to be able to see any more Strange New Worlds for a while, but I'll be happy because I don't have to see any more Strange New Worlds.
I enjoy it.
Who knows?
Enjoy it, but I don't pine for it.
No. But yeah, we'll talk about stuff in the DMs at some point. But if you want to let people know where to find you in case they don't know already.
Just on YouTube, the Old Yorkshire Geek. And I do reviews and news videos, but not very often these days. I'm being lax on news videos recently, but I do reviews and stuff like that, and live streams. I do my Magnificent Mondays, where I do my favourite films on a live stream every Monday, and then I do Friday Night Appointment with Fear on a Friday night, where we look at a horror film that I like, that I enjoy. So this week we're doing The Box from David Kelly, Cameron Diaz.
Every time I hear someone say, The Box, I keep thinking to myself, like Hellraiser. Is it Hellraiser? It's like, give me the box.
Yeah, no, this is the one with Frank Langella, where it's more of a sci-fi than a horror, but it does have some spooky moments in. But where he said, if you press this button on this box, you'll get $1 million, but somebody somewhere will die. And it's all about that. It's all about making those choices and stuff. And obviously it all goes wrong.
Wouldn't be too bad if it was your ex. Not yours, I'm just saying that as a joke. But yeah. Anyone's ex, basically, is what I'm saying. If they're annoying enough. Right, okay, so we're going to call it there. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you stuck with it and were patient with us, because we did go off on a tangent a few times. But thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. And until then, take care, stay safe, and may the Schwartz be with you.
I'll say that.
React with all your insight. Review what feels so right. Criticize the light. Movie shining bright. My opinion is mine. Like a never-ending call. Watch them arise and fall. Stories big and small. Screens light up the hall. I will say it all. React with all your sight. Review the day and night. Criticize is a right. Shows that steal the light. My opinion stands so free, like a storm upon the sea. Watch them rise and fall. Stories big and small. Scribes light up the hall. I will say it all. Quest, react, review, criticize. React, review.